This season, 2025, Major League Baseball fans are being treated to a thrilling home run race between Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and Cal Raleigh? A catcher? This is crazy. So far this season, Raleigh has 23 home runs in 58 games, a pace that would give him 64.24 home runs at the end of the season. And since you can't hit 0.2 home runs, let's call it an even 64. We have to remember that this is just what he is on pace for, but this is still a never-before-seen number in the American League. Judge currently holds the record for the most home runs in American League history with 62 in the 2022 season. And if we just look at the record for catchers across the whole league, it's held by Salvador Perez with 48 in 2021. He is on pace to smash the catchers only record and is flirting with the American League record. This stat on its own is insane, but trust me, if you stick with me, it'll get even crazier. Let's just begin with discussing Cal Raleigh in further depth. He didn't exactly come out of nowhere as a prospect. The Mariners knew Cal had some serious power potential. With a .887 OPS during his time in college and a .870 OPS throughout his entire time in the Seattle minor league system, he has been proving himself as a key offensive piece ever since he touched pro ball. He's also consistently proven himself at the major league level as well. His rookie year wasn't so hot, hitting 2 home runs in 47 games, but in the next 3 seasons, 2022, 23, and 24, he rattled off 27, 30, and 34 home runs, respectively. Those totals, which pale in comparison to this season, are way better than you think. He's the only catcher to have hit 30 home runs in a season since Perez's 48 home run 2021 campaign, and during that stretch, he leads the league in home runs for catchers with 91, with Perez holding down the second spot with 73. He's proven himself and then some that he can be a force at the plate in the major leagues. And he's been a driving force in a Mariners lineup that has finally found some offensive salvation. The Mariners team OPS has raised from his .688 OPS in 2021 to a .716 this season. Much of that, I imagine, is off the bat of Cal Raleigh. Raleigh is clutch too, as he hit a walk-off home run to send the Mariners to the playoffs in 2022. But where things start to get really interesting and insane is when we take a closer look at the position he plays, catcher. Major league catchers are probably the closest anyone has ever gotten to becoming a walking baseball encyclopedia. The amount of information they have to process and act on is just wild to imagine. Batter hot zones, what pitches each batter hits well, pitch sequencing, reacting in real time to what pitches are working for your pitcher, and just so much more that I most likely don't even know about. Now, this isn't like an Algebra 2 final, where they have to memorize all this information. They do get to bring it with them to the backstop, and they will constantly check it throughout the game, which caused this fun little fiasco between Tampa and Toronto in 2022, when Kiermaier pocketed the Jays' information that came out of Alejandro Kirk's pocket. But the talent isn't just in knowing this information, but it's how catchers utilize all these numbers to formulate game plans and produce favorable outcomes. Raleigh excelled in that aspect personally, as his pitchers had a 3.3 ERA while pitching to him in 2024, which by my research is the best across the league for a number 1 catcher. Now, whether you want to credit the pitchers or the coaching staff above Cal, what is undeniable is whichever way the pitching strategy is executed, it's going through the catcher, which in this case is Mr. Raleigh. We also have this new fun stat called framing, which entails making balls look like strikes, basically tricking the umpire because they're people too, give them a break. Raleigh is an elite framing catcher, with 13 catcher framing runs in 2024, which was second across the league. Catchers just in general have to put in way more work off the field than the average player. They also have to put in more work on the field as well. I mean, think about it. Will the outfielders and infielders get a stand during their time playing the field? Catchers are in a crouch position. I mean, the advent of the one-knee stance has alleviated some difficulty, but one knee or not, that position is very hard on the knees. Here's a fun little exercise. Right now, wherever you're watching from, go down in a catcher's position. After about 10 seconds, you'll start to feel the burn pretty good. Now imagine doing that, plus wearing catching gear, for 9 innings a day for about 130 games. It's going to take a toll on anyone. And with a physically and mentally exhausted catcher, it's a miracle that teams get any offensive output from their catchers at all. That's why catchers can get away with so many offensive shortcomings. Jeff Mathis got away with a career .551 OPS and played in 948 games over 17 seasons just because he was a really solid catcher that managed to boost pitchers' ERA. It's no shock then to find out that since 1950, only one catcher has posted a career OPS above 900, Mike Piazza, and only 22 have an OPS over 800. During that same time span, there have been 44 players to eclipse a 900 OPS across all positions, and 394 have eclipsed an 800 OPS. That's why what we're seeing out of Cal Raleigh is so incredibly special. Through all this extra work he has to put in as a catcher, he still finds time to light the league alive offensively. Now don't get me wrong, Raleigh isn't some offensive star that is otherworldly. Well, this season he is. But in terms of his career, not so much. His career OPS ranks 100th across all catchers since 1950 with 740. We've seen many elite bats come through the league at the catcher position. Mike Piazza is one of those who is actually the all-time leader for catcher OPS since the end of the Second World War with 922. A 2016 Baseball Hall of Fame inductee, he left the league with a ton of hardware. 10 Silver Sluggers, a Rookie of the Year trophy, and multiple top 3 MVP finishes. Just cutting it straight, he could rake. Mike Napoli was another catcher that could more than hold his own while standing in the batter's box. With a career OPS of .822, Napoli lacked the accolades Piazza collected, but that doesn't mean he wasn't great by any means. He posted the 3rd greatest single-season OPS by a catcher since 1950, when he put up the crooked number of 1.46 in 2011. And finally, let's talk about Jorge Posada. A career .848 OPS guy, he was just incredibly consistent. He tallied a season OPS over 800 for 10 of his 17 career seasons. He too left the game with his share of accolades, 5 Silver Sluggers, and a top 3 MVP finish. Now we can agree that these guys have outclassed Raleigh offensively, this current season excluded. But as we just covered, that's not all there is to being a catcher. Something that Napoli, Posada, and Piazza all have in common is neither of them have ever won a Gold Glove. Napoli was such a bad defender that for over half his career he was a primary first baseman. Raleigh has already acquired a Gold Glove in his first 3 complete seasons, and also has a Platinum Glove for best defender across the American League to go along with it. He's absolutely killing the league on both sides of the baseball currently. And if we just look at his Gold Glove he was awarded last season, that in itself was pretty historic. He's the first catcher since Pudge Rodriguez in 1999 to hit 30 plus home runs in a Gold Glove winning season. And he's continuing his defensive excellence once again this season, with 2.2 defensive runs saved above average and 3 framing runs so far, which is good for 6th in the majors. He's really doing it all this season. This is just incredible for the Mariners organization. This team is pretty used to running out lackluster bats in the catcher position, as the franchise has got a 664 all-time OPS from the catcher position. This guy should be a Mariner for life. He's such a driver for that franchise, and seeing his proficiency in both sides of baseball, he'll make for an incredible leader and model player for every single guy on the 40-man roster. But let's get back to what you guys care about the most. The record chase. With 58 games played so far, let's be totally real. There's a great chance he won't defeat the honorable judge. But I'd stand to wager that there's a high chance he does dethrone Salvador Perez and take the single-season catcher home run record. If he doesn't though, I wouldn't fret. Just remember that Raleigh is currently playing out his 4th complete Major League season. Even though he's 28, older than Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Juan Soto, and Fernando Tatis Jr., Cal has so many seasons ahead of him. So if he doesn't break one or both of these records this season, he's got plenty more chances left in the tank. He's also already made history, as earlier this season he set the all-time record for home runs by a Mariners catcher. So he's got the history part covered. No matter what though, what we've seen from Raleigh is pretty historic, and he'll be a force to be reckoned in this league for another decade. And trust me, as a Jays fan, I know all about his offensive prowess. But I hope you enjoyed my analysis of Cal Raleigh, because that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down below what you think of Cal Raleigh and just catchers in general. And click on that video to your left if you want to see more from me. I'll see you all later.